Hi guys, welcome to this video, and today I'm going to share with you all the makeup mistakes that I was doing for a very long time. Now, I'm not a makeup professional but only an enthusiast, and everything that I have learned till today is from YouTube. So today I'm going to share with you a lot of different mistakes that I was doing for a very long time, and slowly I have recognized them and corrected them. So I'm going to share those mistakes with you so you can understand your mistakes too. Before jumping to this video, if you're new to my channel, then hi, this is Rishti and I make mostly videos on makeup, beauty, skincare, fashion in this channel. And if you like my content, then don't forget to subscribe. Now, without any further ado, let's jump into the video. Now, the very first mistake that I want to mention today is the face shaving. Now, I never have too much hairs or thick hairs on my face, so I thought that I don't need face shaving, but that was completely wrong. Now, every one of us have small tiny hairs on our face. If we don't shave that, then the makeup doesn't sit properly on our skin. Also, we have sometimes peach fuzzes, dead skin cells build up. It makes the skin very smooth. Because of that, makeup sits on the skin very well. Now, to do shaving, we just need the lubricant and a good facial razor. Okay, so my shaving is done. Now, after shaving, the most important thing that we need to do before our makeup is skin prep. Now, even for normal or oily skin people, they need to do a little bit skincare before starting the makeup. Now, as it is the summertime and I have just done my shaving, so I will use the same aloe gel on my face in a generous amount to soothe my skin and also moisturize my skin. Now I'll wait for 2 to 3 minutes so the whole aloe gel gets absorbed into my skin, and then I will start my makeup. Now, to start the makeup, the first wrong thing that I was doing for a very long time is not priming my skin. Now, priming is very important, and depending on our need, we select the right primer. For example, if we have a very oily T-zone, then we should move to the silicone based primer or very matte finish primer. Now, if we have pores, then we should pick up a pore filling primer. Now, we all have laugh lines, and most of the time foundation settles in those lines, so we need to apply some primer on those laugh lines to make the foundation appear smoother. And for that, silicone primer or smoothing primer, they work very nicely. Besides that, if you are a dry skin person, then you can use a blurring primer, which is quite hydrating also. If it is a winter time, then oil based primer can work very well on skin. Now, sometimes there trend comes where people just start to talk about something and not always in a right way, because very recently I have watched some videos of some influencer where they are speaking about that priming is not important, it is not for everyone. Even if you don't have any skin concern, you at least should use a blurring primer. For the foundation, which are very high end foundation, one pack is 4,000 rupees or more than that, those kind of very expensive foundation, the finish they give, it is very smooth because those foundation have very different formulation. For a drugstore foundation, we definitely need a primer. Unless until we give the foundation a very smooth flawless base, the foundation or its particles don't sit properly and gives a very uniform nice smooth finish. Now, I also have seen some influencer, they are talking about that makeup base can't look flawless, but it is not true. Your base can look flawless. Yes, it is possible if the skin itself has a lot of problem. I mean, it has a lot of bumps or acne or other kind of problem. Then first you need to solve those problem and consult a good dermatologist. That is the most important part. Now, if your skin don't have a problem, then after using good primer, skincare, of course good foundation, we can have a beautiful flawless base. Now, I don't have any skin problem today. I have quite clear skin today, so I'll today go for 2 primers. One is a silicone based primer to just reduce a little bit shine from my T-zone. Now, I'm shooting in the summertime and it is a non-AC room, so I can have some sweat oil on my skin. My skin is now a little normal type. If T-zone looks oily, then makeup just don't look good. My foundation always settle on my smile lines, so I prefer to apply a little bit silicone primer. It gives a smooth base, and because of that, foundation no more settle on this line. Also, if you have fine lines under your eyes, then also you can use the same technique to prevent your foundation to settle there. I don't have any pores now, but still I will use this pore primer of pack to have some smooth appearance here on this cheek portion. Now, my whole face has become completely matte now, which is I think very good for makeup in summer. So now I will move to my foundation. So here my next mistake. Now, I have selected wrong shade of foundation for so long time, and I have seen that most of the time people go for light shade foundation. I mean the foundation which are lighter than their skin complexion, and that is very wrong. Firstly, now to choose a right shade of foundation, we need to consider 2 facts. One is the shade and one is the undertone. Now, we can have 3 kind of undertone. One is neutral, one is warm, and one is cool. If your veins look very green, then you are warm skin tone. If it is blue, then you are cool skin tone, and if it is in between, then you are neutral undertone person. Now here in Asian countries, we consider the more yellowish tone as the warm tone, but in the Western countries, they consider the more reddish tone as the warm tone. Now in any foundation range, if we find that there are two foundation, one is a little lighter and one is a little deeper than what we need, then we always should go for the deeper one, because if we choose the lighter one, it will look ashy on our skin. Also, we need to check the oxidation level of the foundation. I mean, after application, some foundation gets oxidized a lot and it becomes darker. Now, it is always convenient to pick up the foundation at the store, not online. But if you are very confirmed, then you definitely can pick up online too. Okay, so today we use this foundation. This is K-Beauty foundation and it is 155Y10. Also, you need to shake the foundation bottle very well before taking the product. Now, the fifth mistake that I was doing, and it is also related to the foundation. Now, when we are applying our foundation, we should not apply it all over our face equally. We should focus on the inner part of our face where we have color differences. So, like, beside this mouth area, we always have some extra pigmentation, and I will place as much as product on this portion to have a good coverage. Okay, so after covering the central part of my face, I will apply a very little amount on the outer side, not too much, because if we apply too much foundation on the outer side of our face, then our face looks wider and also more aged. So I will not do that. We need shadow on the outer side and brightness on the inner side. Also, we should apply foundation on our neck. Otherwise, our neck looks very different than the face. So I will cover my neck very lightly. Now it is the time of concealer. Now we don't need too much light concealer for our face, because then it looks quite odd. Now, if you want to look your makeup natural, then go for a concealer which is just one or a maximum 2 shade lighter than your foundation shade, not more than that. Now, if you want to go for a very high glam, jello kind of look, then you can go for a very light under eye also. For especially Indian makeup or natural makeup, it doesn't go well. Now, the mistake that many people do, that they apply too much of concealer under their eyes, which you don't need. You need just small amount of concealer like this. Now, beside this 1 shade light concealer, we also always should own one concealer which is very similar to our skin shade or foundation shade. Now, for that, I will also use one K-Beauty concealer, and this is 175Y. For me, the corner of my lips needs a little more coverage, so I will apply a little amount of this foundation here on the 2 corners of my lips. Also, I have a pimple mark here, so I will apply a little bit on that too. Now, for spot concealer, you should not move the concealer too much from the place. I will blend it without moving the product too much. Okay, so now contour and bronzing. For contour, we need cool or neutral tone product, whereas for bronzing, we need warm tone product. Now, contour creates the shadows and bronzing gives a little warmness, a little suntan kind of thing. Now, when I was a beginner, I didn't know that difference, and many times I have applied a warm bronzer on the outer side of my face, and it was just looking very, very bad. Now, to contour our face, we should join this corner of our lips to this corner of our ears like this, and we should place the line just above it. I have very sharp nose, so I contour this portion, not the side portion, and a little bit under my lips, of course the side of my forehead. Now, contouring and bronzing completely depend on individual facial features, so you need to understand your facial feature to place the contour and bronzing properly. Now, when we are blending our cream contour, we never displace the product too much from its place. Also, we need to blend it very properly so there is no harsh line. Now I will apply some cream blush, and here is another thing that we should follow. We should not apply cream blush directly on our face. We should take it like this, back of our hand or make a plate or something, and we apply it like this after taking it into the brush. This way we can control the pigmentation much better. Very important to understand your facial feature and apply it accordingly. Now, for my feature, as I have very sharp nose, so I prefer to give my face a little softness, and to do so, what I do that I apply the blush in a almost like this, in a shape of W, with the maximum concentration of the blush I keep it on the outer part here. In a little amount also I apply in this portion, the central portion. Okay, now it is the time of setting, and we must set our face with a powder. Otherwise, the foundation and especially the concealer may shift from its place. Now, it depends on the skin type, and for my skin, foundation or concealer do not move from its place that much. Also, some people do baking under their eyes to make it more brighter. Now, baking is that when you apply a lot of product under your eyes and keep it for some time, so it gives a brighter look. Also, it gives more coverage under your eyes. Now, for some people, bright under eyes look good on them, but not for everyone. everybody. Now for my face, I don't need that much baking or brightness under my eyes, so I apply a little bit amount to set my under eye concealer. Now, if you want a lot of brightness under your eyes, then go for the banana powder or a setting powder which is 2 or 3 shades lighter. Otherwise, only a 1 shade lighter powder will do a perfect job. Also, if you have a very wide nose ridge and it appears on the side region, you want to cover that, you also can bake the side of your nose using the loose powder and a triangular puff. You just need to apply a good quantity of this powder beside your nose and bake it for some time. Then your nose ridge, if it is too wider, it will not appear in your makeup. Next is a very important part of our makeup, and that is brow. And here I will show a mistake that I was doing for a very long time. Okay, so I prefer brow pomade always over any other brow product. Now to do brows, this kind of brush where there is a spolio at one side and a shader brush at the other side, it works very nicely. Now this brush is from Faces Canada. Now to do our brows, first we need to brush our brows very well like this, and then try to figure out if there is any sparse area is there or not. I have only a little bit sparse area on this arch portion of my brows, so I will just cover that portion. Now to fill the brows, now I am brushing it downwards so I can apply the product properly, and now I'm just filling the arch portion of my brows like this by small strokes of the brush. Now the mistake I was doing for a very long time, that is I was applying a good amount of product on the inner portion of my brow also, because I have some sparse area there too. Now your brow should actually start from the end of your nose, and my brows are a little inner side than that, so the gap of my two brows is quite low than what should be. So what I do now, that I don't fill the sparse area that much, so it looks light and the gap between my two brows appear a little more than what it is. Also I prefer to clean my brows with a little of light concealer. Now I have learned it from James Charles and I was doing it for very long time. It gives the brow a much cleaner look. Okay, now it is the time for eye makeup, and I was doing my eye makeup so wrong as a beginner. Eye makeup completely depends on our feature and especially our eye shape. Now if you see my eyes don't have lot of lid space, and also I have a hooded eyes. I mean this skin is over my lid. Now for my eye shape, it is better to apply a little eyeshadow or 1 or 2 eyeshadow. Not too many things I can do on my eyes. I today will show you how I place my eyeshadow. To do eye makeup, we first need a transition shade, which is a light matte color shade. As I have very deep set eyes, I can't place any eyeshadow in my crease area. So what I do, that I just stop below my crease line like this. Also I just extend it a little bit on the outer side like this to create a shadow. Now I take a medium shade and I apply it on the inner part of my eyes. Now on my eyes, a little deeper shade looks good on the outer side. Now I'm taking this brown shade from another palette and applying it to make the outer part a little darker. Now on hooded eyes, light shade eyeshadow on the inner side and dark shade eyeshadow on the outer side look better. It not only work on hooded eyes but on other eyes also it looks good. Now a good eye makeup is all about blending. So I'm just taking a clean brush and blending the outer edge very well so there is no harsh line. Now I prefer to have a little bit black on the outer side also. I always need some shadow under my eyes. Now I'll apply a little bit shimmer on the inner side. Also I'm placing the same shimmer on the inner portion. Okay, now another very big mistake that I was doing. Now when you watch other people makeup, many creator they create very beautiful eyeliner or wing eyeliner, or sometimes they apply very nice lashes that adds lots of drama to their eyes, so it looks very good on them. But when I tried those things on me, it was horrible because I have very small lid space. Now I was very upset for a very long time for this, that my eyelid space is that narrow. Now, I'm a big follower of Ali Andrea and I watch all her makeup tutorials. Now, she has similar kind of small eyelid space like me, and also she has very deep set eyes. Now, after watching her makeup tutorials and seeing her beautiful makeups, I tell myself that if she can have such a gorgeous makeup, then what I can have. Now, whatever features we have, we can work with this, to have a nice makeup or to look good. We don't need everything in a certain way. Now, we need to learn the right technique for the makeup, and that's it. And if we know the technique, we can work with any kind of features. Now, I don't use false eyelashes now. Very rarely, and if I even apply false eyelashes, I choose the very natural looking one. Most of the time I go for mascara, and that is I think sufficient for my eyes. Also for mascara, I prefer mascara which gives a very good lift, because my eyelashes are very tiny and they are downward. Now I'm using a very old and my very favorite mascara of Maybelline. Now I trust Maybelline for mascaras. Now most mascaras give length and volume, but after some time the lashes comes down like this. Now it is the time of lips, and I think many people do this mistake that they overline their lips too much to make them fuller. Now if we overline it too much, then it will look very fake. So we need to overline it just a mini tiny amount. Okay, so first I will remove this lip balm from my lips. I first make this curve on the center portion just a little above my original line. Now I extend it at the two sides and I overline it just a little bit, very little bit, and I'll try to make it a little rounded. Okay, now my lower lip is already very thick, so I don't go for overlining. Another big mistake that I was doing, that is I was not filling my lip, or at least the outer side of my lip, with the liner. If we just line our lip like this and then we apply a lipstick over it, then sometimes the line looks very harsh. We should fill at least the outer part of our lips. Now it is the time of lipstick. Now we should not put too much lipstick at once. We should put the lipstick gently. Also, I'm adding one more color to add some brown in it. Now I prefer a little muted color, and it is personal choice what kind of color you want. Okay, now the final part, and that is the highlighter. Now guys, highlighter is not for everyone's face. Now I didn't know that, and I used to put a lot of highlighter. Now highlighter placement completely depends on facial features. For example, many people place highlighter on their nose ridge to make it look sharper, but you can see my nose, I don't need that. Also, they apply it on the cheek area or sometimes the side of their eyes to make this area pop up. But what, I feel that without highlighter my face looks more balanced or proportional. Now if sometime I'm doing a very glamorous makeup and I want a little bit highlighter, then I apply it mostly on this inner cheek area, because I have a wider face, and if I apply it on the outer side, then it will make my face more wider. And also I apply it on my collarbone or this side, on my shoulder, if I want my body to look good or a little glamorous. Now it is the time to finish our makeup with a good amount of setting spray. It melts the whole thing and gives that smooth, flawless finish. So guys, this is the final look, and I hope that all the makeup mistakes that I did, you will not do it for yourself. Now if you like this content, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye.